And the second reason that evolution is false is that it is unscientific. And
oh, it's unscientific, you say? Surely you have some scientific reasoning behind this. Maybe you have some empirical evidence to show that it's not scientific. Please, do, go ahead.
This might surprise you. I hope it does. The scientific method is a method of testing, observing, repeating, and recording. And so we know gravity is true because we can throw something up and down, and we can do it again, we test, repeat, observe, and then we can record how far it falls and how quickly to get the speed of gravity. Evolution cannot be observed. Evolution cannot be repeated. It has been tested on bacteria, on flies, but what we find after hundreds of generations of bacteria and flies is that bacteria remain bacteria, flies remain flies, finches remain finches, dogs remain dogs, and humans remain humans. Evolution do claim to have support in a form of record in the fossil record, but we'll look at that a little bit later in this video.
So, his evidence is just making baseless claims that are not true whatsoever. He provides no evidence that evolution's not observable. He provides no evidence that evolution can't be repeated, which is contradicted by the whole evolution has been tested idea, because, you know, he has this weird understanding of evolution, and I'm guessing he follows along the lines of, well, there's macroevolution, there's microevolution, which, if you're really in the know about evolution, you would call microevolution adaptation. And as we all know, adaptation still evolution. Like it's a part of evolution, but it's evolution in action, because evolution is how a group of organisms change, adapt to their environment so that they can survive in it, and they pass those changes on to their descendants, and in that way they adapt and they change to their environment, and they change morphologically, physically, chemically, all these other ways. So that's how evolution works, and it starts with adaptation. So if you can see adaptation in the lab, then you've effectively proven that evolution is happening. But not only that, we have witnessed, like, speciation in nature. There have been cases where we've seen one organism evolve or adapt into a different organism that has to be classed differently. Now, it's not more big morphological changes, obviously. We're talking speciation, which, you know, you can have two different species of flies and they look, you know, eerily similar, but they are different. And he has this understanding of evolution of, like, more Pokemon evolution is how I usually describe it. He expects, like, a dog to, like, evolve into, like, a fucking cat, or, you know, crossing these cladistic lines. He doesn't seem to understand the law of monophyly that says that, you know, once you're a part of a single clade, you're always going to be part of that clade. You'll never jump from clade to clade to clade. You can't violate clades in that way. Once an organism is in the dog clade, it will always remain a dog, a canine. Even if it morphologically changes into something different in the future, it will still be a dog or a part of this canine clade. It'll never turn into a fish or some kind of, like, bird or something like that would violate the law of monophyly. The fact is that we have tested evolution in the lab. We have seen bacteria change and adapt to its environment and effectively changing its chemistry and how it works and all this other stuff. Like, we've been able to repeatedly show this in the lab. I mean, you could show this to high school students. And then finally, yes, evolution supports the claims that are made by the fossil record. The fossil record shows a progression from organism to organism. And we have evolutionary lines that we understand as we've been examining them, as we've discovered more fossils. We get a clearer and clearer picture of the evolutionary history of the Earth, of the organisms on this Earth. And every time we make a fossil discovery, it only further confirms evolution. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about on this slide.